Good morning, traders. Today I want to go through how to save TradeMarkers files, reload TradeMarkers files. If we have time, we're going to show how to combine TradeMarkers files and some of the neat stuff you can do with that. So let me open up my output form. All right, I currently have 103 trades on this chart. And if I want to save those, all I have to do is go up here and click Save. It tells me that, in this case, parameters have changed since the last recalculation. To ensure the report is accurate, recalculation must be performed before saving. Do I want to do a recalculation? I will say yes. It will recalculate. It will bring up the Save TradeMarkers file. There's possibly a couple of things that could happen right here. If you have some characters in here, like a slash, backslash, if I click Save, it's going to tell me that file name is not valid. Just read the little description here and then go and see what kind of goofy character you may have in there that it is not liking. So I take that slash out. Now I click Save. I'm going to get another message in this case because I have saved this file before and it's telling me that it already exists. Because I've reloaded that file and made a few changes, I now want to update it with some additional trade markers that I might have. I might do this if I am testing this strategy over a few weeks, and I might, after each day's trading, go through and add those trades to the ones that already existed. So now we have that saved. Let me go ahead and delete everything here and bring our form back up. It recalculates so we have no trade markers on there. Now if I want to reload that, I go to the Load Files tab. This will by default show me all of the trade marker data files that I have on my PC for this same symbol, the same chart type, and that have trade markers within the date range of this chart. I have 22 days of data loaded, so anything older than the end of October roughly is not going to display here. Like this one probably barely overlaps by going to the first. If I click on any one of these files, it's going to give me the brief breakdown, this quick summary that you see on the Summary tab, showing the rough results as I go through. So if I were to reload the file that I just saved, I select it. I can load it with the settings, or I can load only the trade markers. So let's update the settings. Alright, we have 103 trades, 90% were profitable. It loaded 103 trade markers to the chart. I can go to the Summary tab here, or I could just click over here, and we have the same results. And this is the halfback SPB signal. One thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to change my visual options so that I can see that signal name on the chart. Alright. Update that. So now I can see each one of these are my halfback SPBs. Now what I can do is I can now load additional trade marker files. You can see the one I've loaded, it's grayed out right here. If I click here to filter that out, then it won't even show it to me. Otherwise it's just going to be grayed, saying that those results are already, those trade markers are already on the chart. So no need to reload those. Unless perhaps you had filtered some of them out and tested it and you wanted to start over. You could delete or you could just reload it. Alright, this is a file that Rob used in a webinar we did recently. So I'm going to load that over the top of this, and that is going to give me the combined results for the two strategies. I loaded that with settings. He actually had that set for 10 contracts, whereas I had it for 1, so that's going to mess with things a little bit. So let's change that back to 1. And we called those entries T2s. Now let's recalculate with those settings. Alright. Not too bad. 2,300 ticks over a couple of weeks. Trading 3 contracts. And what do we want to see now? Okay, So I have overlap allowed. So we can see here that we have we had a halfback SPB trade on, and then there was a T2. So this is showing the results with all of those overlaps. If we turn this off and recalculate again, those are now going to show up as no trades due to overlap. So we had the the halfback SPB, then we had the T2 with trend, and again, and you can see we skip a few that way, and of course brings down the results a little bit, obviously. And there we go. All right. Now, since we have multiple trade signals loaded to the chart now, if I go to our aggregate stats, if I look here, I can see the stats for just the T2s. Oops. Or I can see the stats for the halfback SPBs. And the same with the periods. So I can see what the results were for the combined setup. Or if I want to see the results just for the T2s or just for the halfback SPBs. So it gives you a lot of different options when you have multiple signals on the chart to see the results. Again, you got to remember, if you are or are not allowing overlap, that's going to make a significant difference when you start filtering those out. So now we're getting So that is the basics on how to save your TradeMarkers files, load TradeMarker files, and actually what I can do now that I have both of these saved is I can save it again as a combined file. So in this case, I want to call that how would I want to do this? You know it's CL. It is an SPB T2 halfback SPB, I guess I could call it. Alright, and background color, but so now I have all of these TradeMarkers with the signal that they're associated with in a single file. So that is the basics of it, and it's basically only limited by your imagination on how many you want to combine in the different signals and see how they interact. Now that we have the exit on opposing marker and allow or disallow the overlap, there's a lot of different testing you could do with that, with the signals that you're using. That will be all for today.